Hey everybody, my name is Dowden, and in this 2-minute tutorial, we're going to be looking at how we can remove the boxiness from our drums, which is going to make them sound a little bit clearer, have a better clarity in the mix overall. It's going to just dramatically increase the quality of the sound of the drums, and it's very simple to do. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So with this example, I'm going to be using a new track that I'm creating inside of Ableton Live, and I'm going to just grab an EQ and throw it on the entire drum bus. This is going to be affecting all the drums that I have in my track, all my hi-hats, claps, percussive elements, everything except for the kick drum that is a drum or a percussive element is in this group. And let's just take a listen to just the drums, and we'll take a listen to the drums inside the mix. Okay, and now in the mix. So you can hear right away that they sound like they're just a little bit further back in the mix than they should be. They have a decent mix, but they could be a little bit more present. And the main reason for that is, aside from volume, is the fact that they are just kind of taking up a little bit too much of that mid section of the mix. And yes, percussive elements do carry some mid percussion, some toms, snares. They do have a little bit of that mid frequency, but all these instruments in total just feel like they have a bit of boxiness to them. They sound like they're being played kind of a little bit muffled, or maybe further away from you. And usually the simple solution to this is just to EQ out some of that low mid frequency. So you have to be careful, like I said, with certain instruments, because certain instruments are going to need that to feel the presence. But overall, over my entire drum mix, even just reducing a little bit of muddiness can help alleviate some of this. I could do this to individual instruments, and I definitely recommend doing this to individual instruments and not just doing it over your entire bus. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to show you in the bus. I'm going to solo my drums here. And I'm just going to remove between maybe 200 to 300 hertz, and we're going to listen to the difference that it can make. Okay, let's listen before and after. Giving me a little bit more room in my hats. It's not taking up as much room with those toms and percussive elements. The only downside is I'm losing a tiny bit of my punchiness from my clap. And that's why I recommend doing this to individual instruments, going through and finding what really works. Main takeaway is to go through with an EQ, finding somewhere the boxiness that resides around 150 to 400, 500 hertz, and maybe just slightly removing that, cutting that a little bit to alleviate a little bit of the boxiness and make room for your other instruments to sit as well. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe.